Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today another solo pod. I wanted to get another pod up for game two, but before I get into it, let's hit that intro.
DA got that dope.
Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic.
All right, welcome back again to another episode. I wanted to get another episode out before game two tonight, so I'm recording this. It is 4:30. Monday, day after Easter. I hope everyone's Easter was good. So your boy got the flu last week. That shit was not fun. I had a tournament last weekend on Sunday, which is kind of weird. Most of the time, the tournaments are on Saturday, but tournament was on Sunday. Woke up Monday and Tuesday kind of sore. Woke up Wednesday and I felt like sickish, kind of sore, and I was like, this is different." I woke up Thursday and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely sick. Went to work, had a nice 10, 11-hour day run, came home, took my temperature, had a fever, had the aches, stomach was killing me. So I was off Friday, which was nice. But yeah, watched the Knicks game obviously Saturday, reacted Saturday night to the game, and then had a pretty good Easter. My in-laws came down from New Hampshire and we went out with my parents to like a brunch. So that was cool. My parents were there. Hannah's parents were there. Caden was there, obviously, and my brother and his girlfriend were there. So it was a good time, but just wanted to get a little bit of banter before I just hop right in. But obviously, I'm wearing a Knicks hat, so we know what I'm going to be talking about here. I feel like the last episode was a little too negative. Obviously, I reacted right after the game. I try to do these pods right after the game, and I also try to not listen or watch anything online. So what you got that last episode was my genuine reaction. I think I pushed record 20, 30 minutes after the game was over. So obviously, yeah, I was a little bit negative, but I think I started by saying like, hey, this is going to be negative, but obviously I'm happy. Knicks are up 1-0. Can't be happier with that. But yeah, obviously I want to get another episode before game two. Basketball really it has to be my favorite sport, I think. And for those of you who don't know, I drive for a living. So I have all these thoughts going through my head during the day while I'm driving, whether it's, think about basketball or football or dodgeball, honestly. So I try to put all my thoughts into my notes app, whether, I get to a stop and I type everything out, or I use text to talk and I try to figure out what Siri was trying to type out for me when I get the chance to look at it. But yeah, enough banter. Let's get into it. So, I mean, I've already mentioned it twice, but yeah, I was very negative on the last episode. So let's get some positive thoughts out there. So Jalen Brunson, I thought Jalen Brunson, the first half looked a little iffy. I feel like Jalen Brunson, for whatever reason, this happened also last playoffs against the 76ers, but the first game or two, he looked a little iffy. And then after that, it kind of took him a little bit to figure out what type of defenses that they were throwing at him, who was guarding him. But Jalen Brunson, I thought that first half looked a little iffy. He finishes the game with 34 points, so he looked really good. I mentioned before the series started that I thought that this was going to be a very big Karl-Anthony Towns game or series in general, and he had a good game. So he had 23 points. He also had 11 rebounds, and I know when they went on that run that he had a lot of those points, and he had some huge threes. Let me try and pull this up. I guess only had 1 3. So he must have had a few long twos and then that big three, but it was definitely like a momentum swinging run that he went on. And then Cameron Payne. So Cameron Payne, this dude has nuts out, man. At the end of the third quarter and that fourth quarter run that the Knicks were on, Cameron Payne was out there. So Cameron Payne, he had a total of 14 points in 15 minutes. The exact lineup that was out there. So for the first 39 minutes of that game, I really felt like that the Pistons, they were in control of that game for sure. Even though the Knicks were up at halftime, you could kind of tell that they had to go on a few runs to get that lead. But when they go on that 21-0 run, the lineup that they had out there was Cameron Payne, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. So I kind of gave a few of my thoughts and bullet points for the beginning, but let's kind of talk about the whole game because, like I said, I try to not watch anything or listen to anything beforehand. So now I get the opportunity to watch some stuff back, listen to some podcasts, and share with you guys some stuff that I've learned. So I knew that Josh Hart had the 3 fouls, but Josh Hart, he only played a total of 7 minutes in that first half, and he played a total of 30 minutes for the game. So that's pretty interesting to me. I really wonder, obviously it wasn't by design that Josh Hart gets 3 fouls in the first half, but is Josh Hart going to play more than 30 minutes in tonight's game? I don't know. Thibodeau, he actually did a good job of making adjustments lineup-wise going into the second half. The first half, his rotations, I still stand by this, but his rotations were egregious. But yeah, so the Knicks, they go into that half, they're up 57-55. Tobias Harris, he hit that 3 right before the half where he just stepped into a 3 right in front of OG Anunoby. So if he doesn't hit that shot, the Knicks are up 57-52 at the half. That was something that I kind of forgot and then remembered watching everything back. The Pistons, they come out in that third quarter and they outscore the Knicks 36-26, even with the Knicks going on that little run the end of the third. But that run that they went on to end of the third quarter, I feel like kind of carried some momentum going into the fourth. So speaking of the fourth quarter, the Knicks, they start the fourth quarter. They force the Pistons into a quick 5-second violation. Then they force them into a shot clock violation. Then they force them into a turnover. So that first minute and a half of the fourth quarter, you're like, oh shit, Knicks are playing Knicks basketball, man. This is what we've been waiting for. And it took a few minutes, but then they go on that crazy run. So here's some things that I'm kind of looking for tonight. I wonder if Tibbs tries to go to that double big lineup now, or if he's just going to say, fuck it, let's play Josh Hart more than 30 minutes and make them make the adjustments rather than us make the adjustments to them. Landry Shamet, so he only played a total of 10 minutes in that first half, and I think it was 2 stints total. So I wonder if he is going to play more than 10 minutes or if he's going to play in the second half at all. OG Anunoby, so he was a primary defender on Cade Cunningham, and the Knicks forced Cade into a total of 6 turnovers. So I think OG was guarding him for, it was either 9 or 10 minutes that I saw. And then the second primary defender, I guess not primary defender, the second defender for Cade Cunningham minutes wise was actually Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm curious if they try to throw something different at him, even though that was working. So maybe they don't. I wonder what the Pistons do to counter that. So in that second half of basketball, we saw Cade Cunningham. He kind of seemed like he gained some more confidence. He was just taking what the game was giving to him, and they really got Cat in a few of those pick and rolls up at the top of the screen where Cade was just able to dribble out of it, and he just had an easy bucket to the rim, and that happened 3 or 4 times. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons come out and they try running shit like that. But one thing that I can't see him not playing, but Isaiah Stewart did show up on the injury report yesterday with a knee issue. And you can kind of see it was either in that third quarter or that fourth quarter where he did something and he's running up the court on a fast break, on a defensive fast break. And you can tell that there was something going on with him. So I'm curious if he plays tonight. It was reported that it was a right knee issue and that he had imaging on it. So I don't know if that was just precautionary or if that's hey, he may not play tonight. And then lastly, so my prediction for tonight, yes, I'm wearing a Knicks hat. Yes, I'm wearing a Yankees hoodie. So obviously I'm going to pick the Knicks, but I really do feel like that the Knicks will win tonight. The Knicks, they end up winning by 11 points. So they total of 123 points to a total of 112. I really do think that the Knicks win again by double digits tonight, and that's my prediction because I know that Cade Cunningham didn't have the best game, but the Pistons, they shot 47% from the three-point line. I can't see the Pistons shooting 47% from the three-point line. Like, I think everything that needed to fall their way did fall their way in that first game, and they still lost. So, young team on the road still. I think that their younger players are going to play a little bit better. Um, a lot of people were down on Dennis Schroeder, and I think that's crazy because he came out in that game, and I'll pull it up right now. So he played a total of 26 minutes. He had 8 points, so nothing too crazy, but he had a few steals. So he had 2 steals. He had a few assists. He had a few blocks too. He had a big block on Jalen Brunson. So I really do think that he played pretty well. And if you're looking at the plus minuses, so every single player on the Pistons was a negative besides 2 players. So Isaiah Stewart, he was actually +8. And then Asar Thompson, he was literally 0. So he wasn't plus or he wasn't minus. But the next closest player to a plus was Dennis Schroeder at -2. So Malik Beasley, he was at -9. Ron Holland was at -7. Tobias Harris was at -16. Tim Hardaway Jr. was at -3. Jalen Duren was at -20, and Cade Cunningham was at -6. So I thought that Dennis Schroeder brought a lot of good energy coming off that bench. So I wouldn't be surprised if they play him again tonight. They played him a total of 26 minutes. So I could see him playing the same amount of minutes and still just being really pesky, guarding Jalen Brunson full court, pressing him the entire time, really making him work for his points and trying to exert as much energy that he can really get out of him. And people really forget, like, it's not a normal NBA game. It's not like a regular season game. Like, these are best of 7 series. So the Pistons, their goal obviously is going to be to win tonight, right? Like, no shit. But another one of their goals is going to be to try and tire out Jalen Brunson and really make him work for his points. So the Pistons, all they have to do is steal one on the road and then try to defend home court. That's the goal for every single team that is playing on the road the first 2 games. Just steal one. So my prediction for tonight, Knicks win by double digits. And I'm not going to give a final score because I think that's just going to be like a guess out of my ass. But let me pull up the other games for tonight. I don't have notes on anything else, and I think I just kind of rambled on for like 15 minutes, but I do want to give some of my thoughts on tonight's games. Okay, so it's just the Clippers Nuggets for tonight. So the Clippers play the Nuggets. It's in Denver. I want to try and pull up their last game. So this was a pretty big game for the Nuggets to come back and steal. So the Clippers, they had a total of 20 turnovers. That was like a pretty big thing that I feel like the Clippers had that game and they just threw the game away. I know we talked about it before, but Kawhi Leonard, 22 points, Zubac, 21 points. James Harden looked really fucking good. He went 6 of 6 from the three. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the free throws. He went 4 of 9 from the 3-point line, which that's still really good. That's almost 50%. Chris Dunn, I felt looked really solid too. Powell looked a little iffy. Ben Simmons was out there. He didn't score any points. Ben Simmons was funny because every single time that he would get a rebound, he would he would either push the ball up the court, and as soon as he like went, I don't know, past the logo, like he didn't have the ball in his hand from the logo to a 3-point line. Like he was looking to pass the ball every single time. And it was so obvious. I mean, that's just his MO, I guess. Everyone knows that. So he only had one uh, field goal attempt. It's really sad to see what happened with him and not taking that dunk and that Hawk series, and then just everything that's kind of dominoed from there. Um, yeah, Aaron Gordon. So let's talk about the Nuggets a little bit. So Aaron Gordon, he had 25 points. Jokic had 29. Jamal Murray had 21, and he had a few big shots. Michael Porter Jr. So this is something that I thought was pretty interesting. So Michael Porter Jr., he only played 26 minutes. And keep in mind, this was an overtime game. So he only played 26 minutes. Russell Westbrook was playing over him in those closing minutes. And Russell Westbrook was the one to hit that big three. So Russell Westbrook took 17 shots and had 15 points on 17 shots. So if you're just a casual NBA fan, you're like, oh, cool. He had, 15 points on 17 shots. No, that's not good. If you are taking 17 shots, you should have more than 15 points. Like you should have 20 to 22 points. That's not good. He went 2 of 6 from the three, but he had that very big three at the end of the game. And he brought a lot of energy. Obviously, he's Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he had 8 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and he had a +7 plus minus. I heard a funny analogy today that someone compared Russell Westbrook to the like mystery boxes in Mario Kart, where you just never know what you're going to get with Russell Westbrook, which is totally true. Because I feel like he can come off the bench and he can give you the energy that you need, or he can come off the bench and be like, yo, it's Russ time. Like, I'm chucking these shots, boys. Like, I got it. Or he can come off the bench and be a really good facilitator and kind of play like aggressive, but also kind of controlled basketball at the same time. So we'll see what type of oh my God. We'll see what type of Russell Westbrook that we get tonight. So I'm going to say Clippers. Clippers are on the road. So if the Clippers get one of these games, that's all they need to do, and then they get to defend home court. Do want to talk about the Sunday games. And I know I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, but so the Grizzlies play the Thunder. Grizzlies lose 80 to 131. Like that game wasn't even close. There's nothing to talk about in that game. Obviously, the Grizzlies fired their head coach. They're going to get 4-0'd. They're going to get swept. The Magic played the Celtics and they lost 86 to 103. So I think in that game, it was pretty obvious that they were really missing an offensive-minded player, like a good facilitator, like a guard. Paolo Banchero, he had 36 points. He looked pretty good. Franz Wagner, he had 23 points. But everyone else, you could tell that they're really struggling to create offense. And they were really, really, really missing Jalen Suggs because he is really good at facilitating offense, but he is also like very good at locking people down. So if you look at the Celtics, like Tatum had 17 points. Derek White had 30 points. He went 7 of 12 from the three. Like the Celtics, man, they're always going to chuck threes and they're going to live or die by it. So they went 43% from the 3-point line, which is obviously good. We'll skip to the next game though. So Heat play the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers go on a crazy run where, let's pull this up, where Ty Jerome he went 10 of 15 from the field, 5 of 8 from the three. He scores 28 points in 26 minutes, and he just went on a fucking heater. He's so good. I could see him winning Sixth Man of the Year. The Cavaliers, they went 64 and 18. or oh man, I'm kind of stumbling here. The Cavaliers, they went 64-18 this season, so I think that that's like a well-deserved award for them. But Donovan Mitchell looked really good. He had 30 points. Darius Garland, he looked really good. He had 27 points. The Heat, they were closing in on them a few times in the third quarter, and even kind of in the fourth quarter, where they went on these little runs. But every time they throw the ball to Ty Jerome, he just shoot it, and you're like, cool, man. We just defend our ass off, and Ty Jerome gets to walk into this wide ass open three and kill us. And that's another thing I actually want to talk about. I know I'm kind of jumping back a little bit. Uh, no, actually, I'm not jumping back. No, that's a separate game. And then the Rockets Warriors. I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here. The Rockets won 95-85. No, I didn't say that right. The Warriors win 95-85. I'm sorry, I'm so sick. The Rockets, they were really, really missing just offense in general. And I feel like they got a lot of offense this season from Jalen Green. But Jalen Green this game, he shot 3 of 15 from the field with 7 points. Alfred Sengun, he looked pretty solid. He had 26 points. But everyone else from there didn't really look too solid, in my opinion. They were really searching for just offense in general. And that second quarter, they only score a total of 13 points, which is tough. And keep in mind, these guys are the 2 seed, and the Warriors are the 7 seed. And the Warriors, they were favored to win the series too, so they still have 1 game on the road, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. But the Warriors of Jimmy Butler had 25 points, and Steph Curry had 31 points. Obviously, they're the best 2 players in the series, and they really showed you why. They have a ton of playoff experience. Jimmy Butler doesn't have any rings, but Steph Curry has a bunch. Jimmy Butler, he's made the finals I think it was twice. And yeah, he's just a really good player. And another thing too, their window is now. Like Jimmy Butler's older, Steph Curry's older, Draymond Green's older. Their playoff window is now. Like if they don't go for it all this year, maybe next year, but after that, I really can't see their window being open for much longer. Like they do have younger players like Moses Moody, and I think Quentin Post has actually been pretty solid play for them this season. But Gary Payton is older than people think. Brandon Podziemski, he's a rookie. Moses Moody, he's I think a 4-year player, and same thing with Kuminga. And let's talk about Kuminga because another thing with Kuminga that I don't think a ton of people are really recognizing is that the last few games of the regular season, when it was nut crunching time and it was like, yo, we're putting our best lineup out there no matter what, Kuminga never played. Like DNP did not play, coach's decision, and he doesn't play this game as well. So the Warriors, they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players. They play 10 players. Kuminga was one of the players that didn't play, which is just kind of telling you something like, hey, Steve Kerr doesn't believe in this guy, and he is a free agent this offseason. So I'm curious where he goes. I don't know if the Warriors try to re-sign him just because they're going to have him as a restricted free agent and then try to sign and trade him. So that's it tonight, guys. Like I said, prediction, Knicks are winning. I think that they win by double digits. And that's it. Appreciate everyone who's watching. Peace.